Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me here on Rose Reality. As I explained in an earlier video, I'm trying to raise awareness of visual impairment, particularly an eye condition called Retinitis Pigmentosa. In this video, I will briefly explain the condition, but I will be doing more in-depth videos about all the different subjects that I discuss in this video, as there is so much more to say and I don't want people to get bored with ultra-long videos. If you do have any questions about RP, feel free to ask me in the comments or email me at the email address in the description box. I will be staying off camera, which I understand is a little unorthodox for videos like these, but I'm quite shy and am worried about my safety. I used to do videos on Facebook many years ago and I was stalked by someone who saw them, so for this reason I won't be appearing on camera. I also will not be putting my children on the videos, as my eldest doesn't want to be shown and my youngest is too young to consent. Additionally, I don't want to put their safety at risk. I do hope this doesn't stop you from watching and connecting with our journeys. So what is retinitis pigmentosa? Retinitis pigmentosa, also known as RP, is an eye condition where a disease eats away at the retina at the back of the eye, leading to the loss of your peripheral vision and gradually narrowing the vision until you only have some central vision, also known as tunnel vision. Eventually, most people will lose both their peripheral and central vision. RP affects 1 in about 4,000 people in the UK, and about 23,000 people have this condition throughout the UK. People with RP lose their sight at different rates, which is what's happening with my son and me. My sight was generally good and I was able to drive and even wear contact lenses until I was 35 in 2020. Over the past few years, my sight has been decreasing, which has become noticeable to me, although I do have far better sight than my 6-year-old whose sight has decreased to just tunnel vision. RP is a genetic disease that people are born with. Although it is genetic, not everyone is affected. Whilst my youngest son is affected, my eldest son has 20/20 vision. This does not necessarily mean that he doesn't have the disease in his genes, and he is on the list to have genetic testing to check for any mutated genes, which both myself and my youngest son have already had. Unfortunately, there is no cure for RP. However, there has been some work done on trying to find a cure, which has had some really interesting results, which I will discuss in detail in another video. With the use of vision aids, many people with visual impairment can do a lot more than people imagine they can. RP also affects people with loss of night vision. I've never had very good night vision, and even when I drove, I rarely drove at night as it was too hard to see. Before I knew about the loss of night vision being a symptom of RP, I would regularly fall over on nights out with friends, and people would always assume it was because I was drunk. But even if I wasn't drinking on a night out, I would still fall over. Now that I know about night blindness, it hurts me to remember all the jeers and comments people would make about me being drunk every time I fell over. So what is night blindness? I tell people it should be renamed to low-level light blindness, because it doesn't just affect people with RP at night time, it affects us whenever the UV light is low. I find seeing very difficult on cloudy days as much as I do at night time, as well as on sunny days when the sun goes behind the clouds. Also, I struggle to see if I go from outside to inside. Even if there is a light on in the room, I will still struggle to see if the light isn't bright enough or the wrong colour bulb. People with RP benefit from LED light bulbs with daytime light as opposed to a warm coloured light. The other issue that people with RP have is a sensitivity to light. When the UV light is high, my eyes become very painful and it feels like my eyes are literally burning. I remember years ago, again before I knew this was a symptom of RP, that my eyes would be burning and watering to the point where I'd be standing on the school playground waiting for my son, and I'd be cupping my hands around my eyes to prevent the light getting into my eyes as it was so physically painful. I must have looked so crazy to the other parents. The other thing that surprises people when I tell them is that snow hurts my eyes too. Snow is white, and when the light reflects on the snow, it hurts my eyes. Ironically, the only time I can see outside in the dark is when it snows. Although it isn't full sight, it is much better than when there is no snow. After being registered partially sighted, I had to apply for support for amendments with the local council, and the lady from the visual impairment team introduced me to UV shades. These have been a life changer for me. Instead of staying inside on sunny days to avoid the pain, I can now go out and about everywhere in them. It is very funny to see people looking at me like I'm nuts when I walk around with shades on in the snow. And that leads me to another symptom of RP, and that is seeing details. It is very difficult to see detail and read small writing. Unfortunately, I am now unable to see faces that are too far away, which means I miss when people smile at me, and they often think I'm ignoring them when I genuinely haven't seen them. I also struggle to see through car windows, and when people wave me to cross the road or say hi, I unfortunately can't see them. My usable sight is about 2 car lengths, and beyond that I can make out what most things are, but I cannot see what the detail is. Another symptom of RP is colour blindness. However, I haven't experienced this yet, so I'm limited on what I can say about it, but I did want to mention it as I know quite a few people with RP do have this. I think I'm going to leave this video here, but I will be making many more in between my accessibility auditing to further explain retinitis pigmentosa to you and take you through both mine and my son's eyesight loss journeys, because they have been very different. If you've made it to the end, thank you so much for listening. I hate to ask this, but please do push the like button as it helps YouTube push the video out to more people, and hopefully I can help raise more awareness. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.